In our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Now is a great time to get a great deal on New Holland Boomer and Workmaster compact tractors. They may be smaller, but they are mighty. Both are stout machines that will get the work done. Right now, you can get a great deal too. 0% for 72 months or 0.99% for 84 months with approved credit through CNH Industrial Capital. See them now at Alma Tractor in Alma.
Call World of Wireless if you've recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us, 478-6616, or go to wowfastinternet.com.
Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com. Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith, from the Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
They run the fake. They run the fake. Fletcher keeps it. He's got the first down. He's inside the 15-yard line. Hogs ran the fake, and they'll get a fresh set of downs.
Arkansas Game Day is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. The Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
Give me them hogs with mustard, Chuck.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners. Local people helping local people.
I'll hold it down. We'll fix to it.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
And welcome in to Jerry World this morning. This is Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. We're in one of the meccas, and not just professional sports, but all of sports. Jerry World, Christian, home of the Dallas Cowboys, your favorite team, the Southwest Classic, and a lot of marquee matchups as we got one once again this weekend.
Oh, it's always fun. Jerry's World, you know, it's a larger-than-life game. It's always lived up to the grandeur, I guess you could say. It's always been a great game. All the fans, I'm sure, were in for a good one when they decided to make the trip up there. I know there's a lot of Razorback fans actually making it this week, and I'm sure that's nothing new. I know Razorback fans show up, and I think they know that this is a big game.
It's a huge game, and I saw several Arkansas fans already this morning lining up outside the tailgate lots. They're not able to get it. I think it's 5 hours before, so they might have just, before I got in here this morning, they might have just been let in. But this is something, as Tommy talked about this week, he has friends that make this trip down every week, and I've got several friends that I graduated with from the University of Arkansas that live in the Dallas area. My brother lives in Las Colinas, where the team and them stayed last night. So this is a huge, huge hub for Razorback fans. The most notable one being the owner and operator of this stadium, Mr. Jerry Jones. As Scotty come in here from the Cotton Bowl, really appreciate him, Krista, and everyone else hooking us up this morning here. This is, Christian, I'll tell you what, man, we've had the privilege here at ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com to do some awesome pre- and post-game shows in different locations. It is very hard to find a better spot than right here at AT&T Stadium.
Oh, I know. You're probably in the best place you could do a pregame show. I mean, it's just a great stadium, great atmosphere, and I wonder if Jerry's there yet. Is he there yet?
That's a good question, man. I was thinking the same thing. I was walking. There's so many, Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson. They've got all the Cotton Bowl shrine. I mean, this is
he probably doesn't just walk around. He probably stays up pretty hidden.
Yeah, he's my guess is he's not up at 6 a.m. I could be wrong. Maybe he's nervous about this game like I am this morning. He's only been able to hand the trophy one time since Texas A&M joined the SEC to his former team, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, he won 3 straight in this series initially before the Aggies joined the league. 2009, where you blew them out. 2010, great game. 2011, Arkansas comeback. But since then, again, one time, the Arkansas Razorbacks have gotten this one. We've talked about on many occasions. Missouri and Texas A&M, you've only beaten them 3 times combined since joining the league. Christian, hopefully it's about 2:30 later on today.
Yeah, I vividly remember beating them, early on before they joined the SEC, and it's like a switch flipped. I mean, I know joining the SEC probably helped Texas A&M recruiting-wise. With Texas and Oklahoma joining now, I don't necessarily want to see Texas or Oklahoma dominate, but I do want to see this rivalry become more of a rivalry. It's a little one-sided right now. I mean, the games have been close, yes, but ultimately it comes down to winning, and Arkansas's got to find a way to get over that hump against the Aggies, and I think it starts today.
Hopefully it does. And if you want to call or text us on the McLarty Daniel hotline, feel free to do so at 877-377-6963. Again, we really appreciate not only them all over Northwest Arkansas, we appreciate our title sponsors of Arkansas Game Day being the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Now, there's plenty to get into this morning. We got a chance to catch up with Matt Stinchcomb, who's going to be on the SEC Network call later on this morning at 11 o'clock. Played offensive line at Georgia All-American. Talked about the trench play a little bit. Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, is going to join us at 7. Phil Elson is going to be with us later on in the 7 o'clock hour, probably 7:30, 7:45 if I had to guess, before he gets going with the Learfield pregame. So we have plenty for you in store this morning. And one of the cool things about being here in the state of Texas, and I didn't attend a high school game last night. I played a little golf and then ate dinner with my brother, but they are playing some games right now on the big screen. You've got some, again, notable high schools in the state, guys that will be in attendance today, Christian, and hopefully you'll be able to land one or two of them in the class of 2024.
Yeah, Texas high school football is about as big as it gets in the country, and they've got the stadiums to back it up. They've got the teams to back it up. And then, when you make the championship game, where do you play? Jerry World. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, it is a spectacle in itself, and it's really the first of its kind. Now, I know Vegas has built its monstrosity. Houston's got NRG Stadium's a pretty outstanding field, but this was, again, the original mecca of sports. And now Nashville is trying to build. You've got the one out in Los Angeles. I mean, they're taking Jerry Jones' model and recreating it or adding some different things to it. But he was the original, again, fire starter of all this.
I could be wrong, but I think a school from Arkansas played there once. I could be wrong about that. But
like a high school or what?
I think a high school team played there against one of the better teams in Texas.
It probably has happened. So Highland Park, Pulaski Academy defeated Highland Park. I think that Highland Park had a massive win streak. I know that some teams play, like the state championships are played here. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's other high school, there might be another high school team or two that plays here. I mean, the high school stadiums here are just insane. But the state champion, I mean, it's a big deal. It's kind of like playing in Little Rock. I know War Memorial doesn't hold a candle to playing to AT&T Stadium, but I mean, these kids play their entire life for an opportunity to play here in Texas. As the kids in Arkansas, they want to play in War Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, what are you expecting attendance-wise today out there? Is it? I mean, I know
I think it's going to be. I mean, I said it all week. I think this is going to be the lowest attended game that we've seen since this series. I think next year is going to be a massive boost because it's the final one, and people feel like, you know what, we hadn't done this a while, or this is the last one. Let's just do it. That's my opinion. That's my take on what's going to happen, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they sold more tickets. I know that I've talked to a couple friends that the ticket office called them and we're trying to sell tickets in the last couple of days or so. That leads me to believe, it's not necessarily true, but it leads me to believe that they're still trying. There's a lot of tickets to be sold, so we'll just have to wait and see. Again, even if it's 50-something thousand, this place still gets loud. I mean, it's a dome. You got to remember that. Even with it being a neutral site, both sides when they're driving and going. I mean, this has been some of the loudest atmospheres I've heard, just because of how crazy this game has gone in the fourth quarter and overtime, and how juiced fans get at certain points.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's a huge stadium. It's hard to fill up. I don't even know if the Cowboys fill it up. I'm sure they get pretty close. But yeah, I mean, no matter how many people show up to this game, we here at Arkansas, we know how big of a game this is. It's a swing game is what it is. I mean, it could boost you and propel you through the next, 2 or 3 games. It can give you hope that you can win. I mean, I know we all think we can win every game now, but I think if you get this win, it really solidifies that belief.
Zach Arns texted in on the McCarty Daniel Hotline. Christian, your guess was right. Shiloh Christian played down there in 2011, so it's been a while, I guess, since an Arkansas school, but evidently the Shiloh Saints were down here at some point, so it's been
I knew it was one of the the private schools. I knew it was one of them.
Yep. Well, you called it. You got it right. Again, if you want to jump in with us on the McCarty Daniel Hotline, like Zach did, feel free to do so at 877-377-6963. We've got 2 hours of me, Big C, Clay Henry, Phil Elson, your calls and texts coming up. This is Arkansas Game Day live from AT&T Stadium.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
This is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance, and I just wanted to tell you all about plans that we have for Arkansans. It's through the Affordable Care Act, formerly known as Obamacare. Most Arkansans can qualify for a plan for $10 a month premium or below. We are located at 912 Highway 6265 North in Harrison, Arkansas, in the Ace Hardware Shopping Center. Give Ricky Cowan a call at 870-517-1207. Thank you.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Bow hunters, the season is here, and Gelco Outdoors has all the hunting supplies you will need. Cover scents, mosquito and tick repellent, headlamps, face masks, gloves, boots, clothing, ground blinds, blind chairs, feeders, nut grub, deer corn, feeders, saddle, hang-on, climbers, and ladder stands. Gelco has the largest selection of bows in the area. Good luck and safe hunting from your friends at Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Do you have a roof problem? Looking for a solution? Hall's Roofing and Construction has your solution to your problem. Hall's Roofing and Construction offers free estimates, and they've been helping folks like you in the River Valley with unwanted roofing issues. Hall's Roofing and Construction, big or small, are here to solve all your roofing needs. Locally owned since 2015. Call 479-414-5753 or go to hallsroofingandconstruction.com. Solving roof problems one roof at a time.
Camping World is the world's largest RV dealer with more than 1 million RVs sold. And now at over 200 locations strong, we're making RVing more fun and more affordable than ever. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome, we have new RVs starting at less than $5 a day. And we have the largest selection of quality pre-owned RVs anywhere, with an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. It's easy to see why Camping World has sold over 1 million RVs. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today. See dealer for more details and disclaimers.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is making the middle of the week something to look forward to. Wednesdays is Nacho Average Wednesday. Get $1 off all nachos every Wednesday and try the all-new ballpark-style pork nachos. And draft or bottled beers are $1 off. Every Thursday is Throwback Thursday. Enjoy some of the old Cuco's classic platters, just the way you remember them. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith. The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the Hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Oh, let's just start this segment with the text out of the McClarty Daniel hotline. It comes from Billy in Claremore. The way Arkansas played against LSU makes me believe that coaches and players will be ready for this game. I've got a lot of confidence. Hogs by 14. Christian, I don't know, from the different people that you talked to this week, as it's Arkansas Game Day with Ty Richardson, Big C as well, there seems to be some confidence that Arkansas is going to get it done today. And maybe it's misfound confidence because I've heard that in this game before, but I've talked to several Arkansas fans that feel like they're going to get it done today.
I think there's reason to be confident. If you look at the last performance, take away all the penalties, you were toe-to-toe with a really good LSU team. Now, we know each game's different. A&M's got their own set of problems that they pose, defenses, and they've usually got a pretty good defense themselves. But one thing we know is Arkansas and Texas A&M, for the most part, seem to match up kind of well with each other. I know, like I've said earlier, every game's been close, and there's really no reason to think that one team is way better than the other this year. The way the season's gone to this point, Texas A&M did get a pretty good win over Auburn last week, but how good is Auburn? We really don't know. It's kind of early, and then Arkansas has struggled in close games, and we've kept saying that's their biggest issue. Struggling in close games and penalties. If you can clean that up a little bit, I like your chances because we usually play A&M pretty good.
Yeah, and those struggling close games, great article in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports this week by Matt Jones talking about Arkansas since Bobby Petrino left the helm. They were 13-7 under him in one-score football games. Brett Bielema, John L. Smith, Chad Morris, just horrific numbers in one score. Sam Pittman's not great either. He's 5-11, and he wants to change that. And this is going to be a one-score football game. I had so many Aggies and Razorback fans text me this week about the line, which has since gone down. I'm going to check on the Bet Saracen app because I don't know what it is as of this morning. I know at one point it was 4.5. I think it opened at 6.5, and then when you have it's 5.5 this morning. So Texas A&M is favored by 5.5. with Max Johnson being inserted again for Connor Wigman. So, and I also heard from I was talking to a Texas A&M beat writer I know, Christian, that we got our credential about the same time yesterday. He told me that Petrino initially wanted Max Johnson to start. So that also speaks to what Johnson was in the offseason. And because, listen, there's drop-offs a lot of times from starters to backups. Evidently, this quarterback duo, there's not much of a drop-off.
So that's great. Max Johnson, knowing that his coordinator fully 100% wants him to play, that's got to be a good added confidence boost there. And we know Max Johnson played last year. He didn't he didn't do anything to lose the game. That's what stood out to me. He didn't light up the stat sheet or anything like that, but he didn't really need to. Their defense played really good. We helped them out with some offensive mistakes, some mistakes on offense, missing a field goal, the fumble return for a touchdown. If we don't do those things and we stay, in our lanes and we play good, solid defense, I know they're going to take their shots, but we can't give up many big plays. We just can't do it.
Well, I think last year is kind of similar to the LSU game this past week. It was more penalties last week that cost you. Arkansas had those turnovers that you referenced last year, the missed field goal, the mishap with Ricky Stromberg's snap at the end of the game. I mean, they moved the ball up and down on Texas A&M the majority of the first half, got stoned a little bit in the third. In the fourth quarter, they got it rolling again. So it's the consistency aspect. Sam Pittman spoke this week. We heard Chuck say yesterday, you can't take the foot off the gas in this one. And there's been times, and so many times in this series, where the Razorbacks have been up. This isn't just a characterization of Sam Pittman's teams, but just in general, Arkansas's been up in this football game and has found a way to lose it in either overtime and in the fourth quarter with a commanding lead for at least 3 quarters. So if you're able to, again, step on the throat, never relinquish it, then you're going to walk away the victor today.
There was a point in last year's game, I believe we were up 14-0, had the ball driving. I was like, there's no way we're going to lose this game. I mean, we're just dominating all phases right now. And then something happened offensively. I think it was a trick play or something that kind of set the momentum backwards. We had to punt. And it just seems like little things like that in most games, really, but especially in the Texas A&M Arkansas game, it flips the momentum the other way. And usually it flips it. It's been us flipping it to A&M. And then once they take it, they just run with it.
Well, last year, if you remember, Arkansas was moving the ball up and down the field, and then you had Kendall Briles try to insert Malik Hornsby and some gadget plays, and it kind of stalled the offense a little bit. I don't think Dan Enos is going to do that. I'll give him credit. I haven't heard a lot of credit given him. He's gotten ripped this season. I'm not blameless in that. I think there's been points where I'm just looking and it's like, what is going on? And it's not just on Enos. It's on KJ. It's on the offensive line. It's the tight ends, wide receivers, the whole cohesive unit. But you have to give him credit for the best team they played all season. The offense looked the best. Now, again, you've got to clean up the penalties. You've got to clean up the mental mistakes. But if you look at what that offense did against LSU really didn't stop that offense last week. When Arkansas stopped themselves.
Yeah, when Arkansas needed a touchdown last week, they went and got it. Now, the penalties, you were able to overcome them most of the time. You don't want to see that ever. You don't want to have to overcome penalties to score. But, yeah, I mean, what impressed me with the offense was, when you needed a touchdown, they went and got it. Now, you didn't even have a chance at the end of the game because LSU kicked a game-winning field goal. I would have felt pretty confident if KJ had the ball with a minute and a half or something to go down and tie the game up, but it just didn't work out that way. So the offense, no, I don't believe the offense is as bad or as inept as a lot of people think. It's just the penalties, really.
Last week showed us it's not. I mean, this is not there's talent on this offense. Plus, we're 20 minutes into this show on Arkansas Game Day, presented by KC Insurance Partners and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. We haven't mentioned that Rocket Sanders is going to be probably, and I say, okay, 99% he's going to play today, unless something completely changed. Listen to Sam Pittman. Listen to Chuck this week. I mean, unless he just woke up this morning or got on the field today and something didn't feel right. The dude's suiting up today. This is an All-American, All-SEC type of running back that you have not had for the last 3 games. And yet your offense still looked great last game.
You just want to see him out there. I think that's what us fans want to see. That could be 2, 3 plays. That could be 5 plays, 10 plays, however many. We want to see him out there. We want to see how he moves. It's not going to be 100%, obviously, but is he cutting okay? Is he got a burst? Still got some of that burst that we know he has. We want to see him come in. We want to see him play well, obviously. We want to win. That's the main thing.
Yeah. We got text again, Amanda asking the question on the McCarty Daniel hotline about him. We'll see. We'll hopefully give you an update either on Hit That Line or social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram later on today, whether Rockets playing or not. You might keep listening from Phil Elson and Rick Schaefer and Gino Bell in the Learfield pregame. They might get an update from Sam Pittman during that or someone. We'll have, of course, the bird's eye view to see if he's warming up and whatnot. But guys have warmed up before not play, so we'll just have to wait and see. at that point. Got another text in here for Papa Gary. Most Hog fans know that the Hogs will find a way to lose this game, like always. Listen, past history would lead you to believe that, Papa Gary. I understand that pessimistic viewpoint. But, again, this team has the ability, like these other however many teams, to win this football game. You just can't do the same things that you've done in this stadium before.
I mean, he's right. You know, if it comes down to the end or if it's a one-score game, the odds are probably in A&M's favor. But, you know, like we need to, if we jump out early or something, we just need to keep the pedal to the metal. I mean, we can't get conservative and all that. We need to try to avoid that as much as possible. Now, I've got a kind of a positive mindset about this. I mean, you're 2-2. You need a win. Don't think about how it's gone in the past. Just think about we need a win and how can we get it. I think, you know, if Rocket does play, I think that's huge because he's one of those bell cows where he can, you know, chew up clock. He can keep the offense on the field, keep it out of A&M's hand. You know, a lot of these one-score games are due to, you know, going 3 and out or, you know, doing something to give them the ball. You can't really go 3 and out against A&M because, you know, their offense is improved this year and they can score in a hurry. You just want to keep it out of their hands. And, you know, Petrino's going to have some plays drawn up to try to score quick.
Well, to your point about Rocket, I think it just shows the guy, the rest of the team. He's been trying to get back. He's been dealing with the knee inflation. He's like, guys, I'm ready to go today. And this, again, under the assumption that he plays. And that just, anytime, and I remember 2 years ago, KJ Jefferson, he gets injured. Malik Hornsby's in there. They're holding on for dear life. Thank goodness Monteric Brown got that interception because I don't know where that team would be if that didn't happen. But they're holding on for dear life. KJ just is like, no, we're finishing this game. And he gets back out there. It's a 2nd and 8. And you can tell he's writhing in pain. Like, he is just not okay. And he drags 2 A&M defenders like 2 or 3 yards. And he says, no, this game's over. I'm ending this right now. If Rocket was to have a moment like that today where it was just like, I don't care how bad I'm in pain. Because, let's be honest, he's not fully healthy, I would guess. He's going to be close, hopefully. But if he would have a moment like KJ did in 2021, I mean, from a confidence standpoint, that would definitely, not that they're not inspired already, but that would definitely inspire this football team.
Seeing Rocket bust a big run or something is just what we need. We, as fans, the team needs it. I think it'll help team morale. I think Chuck say, you know, if even if Rocket's playing good, that helps the defense. That helps everybody. I mean, knowing your star running backs out there just helps everybody. So, yes, I would love to see Rocket come in, rip off a big run, and bring this game home for us.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. It's Arkansas Game Day presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. The Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business. Locally owned and operated by Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew Mann. Top-of-the-line brands, Tommy Bahama, Champion. Those Champion shirts I always wear? Man, they're comfortable. They've got it all. Vineyard Vines, Cutter, Buck, Wrangler, and Columbia. And you can always shop online at shoponrazorback.com. Game day, man cave decorations, dorm room stuff. It's all there. The Stadium Shop on Razorback. And by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners, local people helping local people. Kevin and Ricky Cowan take care of you and all your health and life insurance needs. I know they were really happy to have Matt Jones and Phil Elson at their location in Harrison earlier this Thursday. They had a lot of people stop by. If you need any of that, health, life insurance, whatever, they make it simple. KCInsurancePartners.com for more information. Again, we're live from AT&T Stadium as you hear the ambient noise. I'm going to try and shield my mic a little bit.
Is it the big screen or is that just the speakers?
I think it's just the speaker. They're just testing out the speaker this morning. They've got the highlights. So I was mentioning the highlights of the high school games on the television. We got Highland Park and some other state champions. They were playing the Cotton Bowl last year between Caleb Williams and USC versus Tulane, which was an incredible game. Now they've got some Jets versus Cowboys highlights where we know the Cowboys just rain through the Jets. That was a game. I know you were disappointed in last week's performance, but you can't be disappointed with how they played against the New York Jets, Christian.
No, I was not disappointed. Actually, I was actually starting to believe this was a Super Bowl caliber team in the back of my mind after that performance, and then they let me down.
Well, listen, everyone has a fluke. Everyone has a game one or two times a season. They just don't show up, and there were a lot of injuries for the Cowboys in that one. Luckily for Arkansas, they don't seem to be at this point in the season at this juncture. So you're heading into your fifth game today. They seem relatively healthy. Now, you lost Sam Mbake out for the season. We know Quincy McAdoo not going to play. I wonder how much better that secondary would be if he was able to suit up this year. We may never know. You've got, again, it looks like Malik Chavis is coming back. You've got Rocket Sanders. It looks like he's coming back. And then I think Devin Manuel is going to either play significantly today or start. So knock on wood as I'm hitting it right now. Christian, compared to last year, this is a lot healthier Arkansas football team.
Yeah, you've been pretty fortunate to this point. You know, the Rocket injury obviously hasn't helped, and he would have been great to have in some of these close games. I know specifically the BYU game, I think if we have him, that chews a lot of clock off and it doesn't turn it into a shootout necessarily, and we win that game. But my feeling is this is a 2-2 team, but we could easily be 3-1, 4-0. This is not a bad football team. This is a good 2-2 team. You just haven't had the breaks go your way. And another thing I'll say about Rocket, if he's just able to be out there today, that gives A&M, another thing to worry about. It helps the offense tremendously, and I'm looking forward to seeing this offense, at full health like it should.
All right, when we come back, again, we'll talk more about Arkansas and Texas A&M as we're live at AT&T Stadium here in Jerry World. But I do want to discuss some of the marquee matchups today, not just in the Southeastern Conference, but all across college football. We had one last night, a top 25 matchup on a Friday night. We'll tell you about that and more next, live from Jerry World.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners, live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma. Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
So not only will the Arkansas Razorbacks be taking on the Texas A&M Aggies today at 11 o'clock, Christian, your Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Jones's Dallas Cowboys, taking on the New England Patriots. Hunter Henry, Dietrich Wise, and Ezekiel Elliott all back in town for this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big game for my Cowboys after that performance. You want to kind of put that to bed a little bit and have a good performance against the Patriots. The Patriots are always tough, man. Belichick's always got a good plan. I know, the offensive line is a issue right now with some of the injuries, and man, that really showed last week. So the Cowboys are going to have to figure something out. I wouldn't mind seeing Hunter Henry get a touchdown catch in a Cowboy victory, of course, but I'm really impressed with what he's doing. He seems to be one of their, I've noticed whenever they get down the red zone, they really rely on him, and he's come through for them a lot this year.
Yeah, Mac Jones loves to target him in the red zone. And I was thinking about this today. Hunter, I would guess, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know his itinerary. I would think there's a possibility he's at the game today. Now, that, I guess, is relative to what the Patriots travel stuff looks like. But I would think if he gets shown on the big screen, I would think, is he going to get booed since he's a Patriot? I wouldn't think so. But then I thought about it. I was like, well, A&M fans will boo him because they'll say former Razorback and New England Patriot Hunter Henry.
He might.
And I was thinking, like, all right, if you're an Arkansas fan and a Cowboy fan, you're not booing this guy, right?
There may be some boos, but I think the Razorback cheers will drown them all out.
I hope so. Well, again, 11 o'clock today, Arkansas and Texas A&M. There are some other marquee matchups today ahead of us. Now, we don't have any games currently going on because it's 6:35 in the morning, but let's go ahead and get into our Southern Tire Mart scoreboard update.
This is your SEC scoreboard update brought to you by Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart, off exit 14, Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Expert maintenance, reliable auto repairs, high-quality tires, and friendly service. Looking out for you and your vehicle. Southern Tire Mart, stmtires.com.
Let's start in the SEC, shall we? So we got the big one today at 2:30, the Magnolia Bowl, at 5, where LSU takes on Ole Miss. Ole Miss trying to bounce back after getting throttled by Bama. I say throttled. Their offense got throttled. The defense at least kept them in there at this one. LSU is a 2.5-point favorite, Christian, against Ole Miss. This is a big rivalry that maybe people aren't as familiar with, but I think it's going to be close. If LSU didn't play their A game against Ole Miss, I think Lane Kiffin and company are going to come in there pretty hot.
That's a tricky game. I mean, it's usually a one-score game in that one as well.
Yep.
Both teams are ranked. I think Ole Miss is looking to play a better game after last week's abysmal performance on offense. judging based on what we did against them, I think Ole Miss is probably, just as good as us, maybe a little better at this point. And it's at Ole Miss. Fans are going to be pumped up. I'd be willing to, it's hard. This is a hard game to pick, but I think that 2 points is not that much. And I think Ole Miss, them being at home, and I think their offense is good enough to score some points. Their defense is improved. Man, I'm going with the Rebels today.
You think Ole Miss is going to take it?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the game at 5 o'clock. The 2:30 game is the Deep South's oldest rivalry between Georgia and Auburn. 2:30 on CBS. Georgia is a 14.5-point favorite in this one. Now, if Auburn had any semblance of a quarterback, I would probably pick them to win this game for Hugh Freeze's marquee upset, his marquee win, and his first one as the Auburn head coach. You are at a disadvantage that he's there rather than Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin would have been a much easier coach to recruit against and go up against Freeze. I think Walker White's the best example, best quarterback in your state, best player in your state. He goes and gets them. I can't pick, though, Auburn today, Christian, because they just don't have anything at that position.
Auburn hasn't shown me just a lot at this point that they have just turned a corner or they're that much better than they were last year. I think you can always count on defense that Auburn's going to be tough to score on. Georgia's offense isn't necessarily this high-powered, juggernaut. This is probably going to be a lower scoring game, but I think Georgia takes it by. I think 14 points is plenty. I think they'll win by at least 14. Auburn's offense is just not going to be able to move the ball at will or enough to get it done.
The other game at 11 o'clock today is Florida and Kentucky. Kentucky is a home favorite now. They're -1. Florida now ranked in the top 25 after a big win against Tennessee. That's going to be an interesting one. Tommy had a great stat earlier this week, and I didn't know about this. First time in forever. I can't remember the exact day, the number of years, but that Kentucky can win 3 straight in this series. Now, again, it's in Lexington. It's at Kroger Field. It's not the Swamp. It's not at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. I do wonder how Stoops' team is going to respond with that potential later on this morning.
Yeah, and I'm also curious just how good is Florida? I mean, I know their first game of the year looked awful. Then they come back and beat Tennessee. We don't really know how good Tennessee is. There's still a lot of teams that we just don't know how good they are. Kentucky is one of those as well. They're 4-0, but they just, they haven't played great teams to this point. It's at Kentucky. I expect it to be a close game. I'll go with the Wildcats in a close one. I think they'll get it done. And this is a big game for Kentucky. They can make it 3 in a row and maybe challenge Georgia a little bit in the East.
Missouri against Vanderbilt. The Tigers 4-0 this season. They're walking to Vanderbilt. This could be closer than you think. I think that Missouri is ultimately going to win, but I think Vanderbilt's able to cover in this one. Tennessee against South Carolina at home in Knoxville. They're wearing their black uniforms, trying to get revenge on South Carolina for just dehumanizing them last year in Columbia, South Carolina. Just blew them out. Hendon Hooker tore his ACL, and the season was just never the same for the Vols after that. I think Tennessee wins this game. Not only they win, I think they beat them pretty handily tonight, Christian.
Yeah, I could see that. I know South Carolina's offense has been their pretty much only bright spot this year. Spencer Rattler has been playing well. That offensive line he has does not make it easy for him. It's going to be the battle of the quarterbacks, I think, today, and which defense can get enough stops. And right now, I have reason to believe Tennessee will be able to get it done over South Carolina. South Carolina's not a great team. They're just not. They've got a pretty good quarterback in Rattler, but they haven't done a lot to show that they're a great team. They kind of let the game get close last week against Mississippi State, who I don't think anybody really thinks Mississippi State's very good. So, we'll know today where both of these teams are. If Tennessee's able to come get a win against South Carolina, a team that's, South Carolina wants to beat Tennessee probably just as bad as Tennessee wants to beat them after last year. This is somewhat of a rivalry game. I don't think these teams like each other very much.
Now, last game, you mentioned Mississippi State. They host Alabama. This one's a late one, 8 o'clock on ESPN in Starkville. Now, just a reminder, Alabama has to go to College Station this next week. I think that can factor both teams and impact them. With Texas A&M against Arkansas, maybe they overlook the Razorbacks. And then, of course, again, Alabama having traveled to College Station. That's going to be a really intriguing game next weekend. So we'll see if Alabama looks ahead of Mississippi State. The line is 14.5. As bad as Mississippi State has looked at points this season, especially against LSU, this is actually, for those that don't know, and Tommy likes to bring this up, and he's right, it's the closest of any two SEC schools in the league.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa and Starkville, Mississippi. You would be amazed at how close in proximity they are. That's even going to beat out Norman and Fayetteville when the Sooners join the league. But this is a game, it is a rivalry to a certain degree. Now, Alabama has dominated it. Somehow, some way, I think Sylvester Croom and State actually beat Saban in his first year in 2007. Arkansas is the only West school that hasn't beaten Nick Saban. But I think they cover. Alabama ultimately finds a way to win, though, because they just got too much talent on that team.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think Alabama is going to score just enough to win. Mississippi State's offense is not going to be able to do much against that Alabama defense. I think it could be one of those, like, kind of 24-10, 24-7 type games. I just don't see this game being very interesting. I think Mississippi State will maybe play them well for the first quarter. I don't know. Jalen Milroe, I think, has he turned a corner a little bit? Is he going to get better this year? I don't think any of us believe he's good enough to lead them to the promised land, but, you know, it looked bad early in the year, and last week he had a pretty decent game against Ole Miss. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't expect much. I just expect Alabama to get the win, an ugly win.
It could be an ugly win tonight in Starkville. All right, that's going to do it for your SEC games. We'll look ahead to some more college football games in hour number 2. And speaking of hour number 2, Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, is going to join us to kick off the 7 o'clock hour. So if you've got some texts, you've got some questions for Clay, get us in here on the McCarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. We're live on Arkansas Game Day from Jerry World.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
You'll find no shortage of work to do in a New Holland Workmaster or Boomer compact tractor. Available now from your local WT Equipment location. You'll also find big savings when you buy now. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Or choose cash back on compact and subcompact tractors. These are roomy, easy to operate, and deliver all the power you need. Call or come by WT Equipment or find them online at WTEquip.com. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Light Beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Shop the store that honors Christ all year. Shop the Solid Rock. Are you looking for that perfect inspirational gift? From greeting cards to home decor, custom laser engraving, and women's boutique items, the Solid Rock is your source for local, hard-to-find inspirational gifts for everyone in the family, including a large selection of Bibles with free name imprint. Solid Rock. Score the perfect gift, share the spirit, enjoy the inspiration. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? Come on over to Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer and a Cinnabogan authorized service provider. From excavators with the best-in-class breakout force to powerful skid steers, we'll be sure to find the right equipment for you. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
What matters most to your family can now cost less. When you choose comfortable, reliable, and efficient natural gas heating, water heating, cooking, and clothes drying for your home, you make the right choice in today's environment. High-efficiency natural gas appliances can reduce your monthly costs. And right now, you can save even more with heating and water heating rebates from AOG. Visit AOGC.com today and get more comfort for less cost.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the Hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
About to throw up because they are showing the Texas A&M highlight reel that they'll preview right before the game. They'll do the same for Arkansas, but this is one of the more unique games in the college football realm each and every season. It is half red, half maroon, kind of like a bowl game. It's in Jerry World, of course, Jerry Jones with the connection to the Arkansas Razorbacks, and I know that it's coming to an end. Next year will be the final year, and I know this has been painful to watch this game each and every year because of how it's concluded. But in terms of the quality of the game, Christian, Jerry Jones, even though he's a Razorback, has to be happy with how these games typically end because of how tight they've been over the years.
Yeah, despite us coming up on the short end more times than not. I mean, it's an entertaining game. It's a great atmosphere. I wish they would continue it. I don't see any reason why they
You want it to continue, huh?
I just don't. Look, I know that, the home field advantage aspect, you don't have that really, but does Texas A&M really have that much of an advantage? I think it's cool, neutral. It's a neutral site. I mean, I'd rather – I know, you could do a home and home with them, but, I'd rather play it there than have to go to College Station and win.
Well, you get that game in Fayetteville every other year, though, too. That's the idea. This year it's been – for season ticket holders, they feel like they've been gypped because they only got 6 home games in Fayetteville. The game in Little Rock and the game here. Now, next year's going to be great because you might have your best home schedule ever with LSU, Tennessee, I'm forgetting the other two schools, Texas, and I'm forgetting the last school that's coming in here. But they're all great matchups. I think Ole Miss might be the other one. They're all great matchups that you're getting at home in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Next year, again, you're considered the away team when you play here, so that's a benefit. Yeah. But I think this one, I don't mind the idea of playing a game here. I don't think they should do it every year, a neutral site game. But I've mentioned Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Texas Tech, like a regionally based team that would make use of recruiting in the Dallas area. I just don't think you should continue to play this game.
Yeah, maybe switch up the opponent. I think it's good to play there. It kind of gives you a breath of fresh air, something to look forward to. If you're looking to go into the game, obviously it's a road trip for the family. It's some people have probably gotten into the habit of going there, and I'd like to see, for their sake, I'd like to see a game there at least. You definitely don't want to lose the game, Texas A&M game though. So as long as we're playing them every year, I think that's good, because I think people don't want to call this a rivalry, but it sure feels like a rivalry, doesn't it?
It's a rivalry. It's just not on the same level as, let's say, Texas and not even LSU. I would say to some people, told Miss. What it is, and Chuck really framed it great yesterday. This, again, is the perspective why we appreciate him being on not just the Morning Rush, but other programming that we have on this station, is for the guys and gals in Texarkana, for the guys and gals in Dallas, for the guys and gals of the southwest corner of our state. This is the biggest game on the schedule every year. Now, that's going to change when you play Texas again every year like you did in the Southwest Conference days. But when you work with someone, that's why in the western part of the state, not northwest, but the western, the River Valley, it's Oklahoma. Now, you don't play them every year, but that's who you work with. That's who you see the most of. That's the most of them to that point. And for the eastern part of the state, it's Ole Miss. For the southeastern part of the state, it's LSU. And then, again, Texas probably is all over the state. So it really just varies on what part of the state you live in, or really outside the state for that matter, Christian, on who you consider the biggest rival. But, yes, this is a rivalry, just maybe not to a certain degree of certain other schools that you play.
Yeah, Aaron Torres, I think he wrote an article saying it was can't say the word, crazy rivalry. A lot of people, if you're not an Arkansas or Texas A&M fan, you might not understand. This is a crazy game every year, and Texas A&M dominates it, but it's really close, and I think Arkansas is going to get the win today.
Well, hopefully they do. Again, we got another hour. We're going to open the next one on Arkansas Game Day live from AT&T Stadium with Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, and then at some point, Mr. Phil Elson is going to join us as well. He was texting me this week and kind enough to take some of his time. I know he's got a long day ahead of him, but still wants to jump on with us. If you want to call or text us, do so on the McClarty Daniel hotline. This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
Hello, this is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance. I wanted to let you all know about the amazing Medicare options that's available to Arkansans. We have Medicare supplements that does come with a cost, but there's no out-of-network. And then we have Medicare Advantage plans that is at no cost, but there is a network. But Ricky Cowan specializes in making the Medicare maze easily understood. Give her a call at 870-416-5600. That's KC Insurance.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
It's hard enough to find a quality used vehicle and even harder to get the financing. Well, look no more. RVR Auto can do both. They have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles and offer in-house financing with payments tailored to your needs. Cars, vans, trucks, all makes and models, and RVR Auto is locally owned. RVR Auto, where you aren't just a customer, you're part of the family. And they also sell used vehicle parts for all makes and models, even those hard to find. Check out their inventory at rvrauto.net or give them a call at 918-626-8111. RVR Auto, be a part of the family.
Here's to you and yours from your friends at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. Hey, warmer weather is with us, and that means fun in the outdoors. Whether you're in the boat, onshore enjoying a picnic, or attending a family celebration, In Good Spirits can provide you with the tastiest adult beverages in town. And don't forget to treat yourself as you listen to the game. In Good Spirits, Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Heath Roberts, right here in the River Valley, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Heath and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Heath Roberts, it's easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088.
Fall has arrived. That means Razorback football, woo pigs, tailgate parties, apple festivals, and pumpkin spice and everything nice. Don't miss the fun because your car won't run. Drive into fall with automotive maintenance and repairs you can trust from W&W Automotive. This is Mark at W&W. We offer affordable repair solutions for all makes and models, foreign or domestic, including front-end work and alignments. Call me or Kelly at 242-1600 or come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Arkansas Game Day.
They run the fake. They run the fake. Fletcher keeps it. He's got the first down. He's inside the 15-yard line. Hogs ran the fake, and they'll get a fresh set of downs.
Arkansas Game Day is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. The Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
Give me them hogs with mustard, Chuck.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by KC Insurance Partners. KC Insurance Partners. Local people helping local people.
I'll hold it down. Blue pigs to it.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
All right, welcome back to Jerry World as we get going on hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Clay Henry is going to join us momentarily on the McLarty-Daniel hotline, but first let's welcome in Kerry there, who's driving down to the game. Kerry, welcome in to Arkansas Game Day, my man.
Yes, sir. Hey, long-time listener, first-time call-in. Hey, I'd just like to say, Chuck and Tommy and them giving you a hard time. I agree with a lot of your views, so I'm going to give you a little shout-out right there. Hey, I wanted to talk, though, about the A&M Arkansas game. So I heard earlier y'all talking about this rivalry and this game, and I never thought it was a good idea for Arkansas to play this game, especially when it's a conference opponent. What do you guys think about, like, Oklahoma State? I think they're a mirroring program that we could play, and right now we'd have a real good chance at really kicking them, and I'd love to see them play Arkansas in Jerry's world.
Kerry, you talking about every year, or is this like a once every few years? You got Oklahoma State on the schedule in Stillwater, and forgetting the years they're coming up. I think there's 4 scheduled games in Fayetteville and in Stillwater. Now, I think it's in the next decade or so. I think 2 are closer than the others, but you're already scheduled to play them at least home in Boone Pickens and in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium.
I'd like to see that every year down there in Cowboys Stadium. I think that would be a good draw. I think it would be about even for Arkansas-Oklahoma fans, about the same type of drive. I mean, I think that's the way to go out of conference playing right there.
So let me ask you this. Where do you live, Kerry? Because I think this might make sense. What part of the state do you live in?
Okay, so I just recently moved. I lived in the northeast corner in a town called Pocahontas, Arkansas. I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma for my work. But you know, I can kind of see the drive being really similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with playing. What is Tulsa to Dallas, by the way? Like, how long is it going to take you to get down here?
We're roughly about 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours to the stadium.
Yeah, that's about – so the great – like Fort Smith, Fayetteville, and Little Rock, all about 4.5 to 5. Fort Smith, I think, is a little shorter than the others, but that's a good part. Now, Kerry, again, I don't know. I don't think that's a terrible idea. I think my preference, and we appreciate your calling in, and if you want to jump in with us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, do so at 877-377-6963. I don't hate that idea. I thought Oklahoma State would be a great opponent. They recruit Dallas heavily already. Gundy does a good job of getting some maybe unheralded kids to come to Stillwater. But I think the better idea, these home-and-home series I really like going to Salt Lake. How fun is that going to be in 2026 when you play Utah? Stillwater, I've seen games there. Never seen the Razorbacks play football. Saw them get their tails kicked in basketball. But that idea makes sense to me. Texas Tech, Baylor, Nebraska, those are just names kind of I've rattled off at the list. But I don't know if you'll ever see another 10-year, 20-year contract with this game into the Southwest Class. And I guess technically it started in 2009. It's going through 2024, so that's a little more than that. All right, let's go back to the McClarty Daniel hotline where our friend Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, is waiting. Clay, thanks for getting up early. I know you don't have to this morning, but we appreciate you waking up early with us.
Well, I told you guys I'd do that. I'm glad to do it.
Well, we're happy to have you on. Clay, let's talk about this game.
Early. Yep.
Yeah, I guess Chuck, you know what Chuck always tells me? He was like, when he was talking to me at Tommy, he's like, I'm already up, so I might as well just do radio, what I love. And you know what? That makes sense. Let's talk about this game today. So I'm here right now. We're about 4 hours from kickoff until this thing gets going. I mean, you've watched this game as about as in-depth as anyone, and Arkansas time and time again has had this game in the bag. They've just blown it. They had points in the game last week where they had chances to win. They just weren't able to execute. What's the difference in this game today that maybe pushes Arkansas over the top?
Well, you alluded to it, 60 minutes. And I guess there's been some years where it's been more than 60 minutes. So it's they've got to bring it for the full game. And Texas A&M is good enough. If you have a lapse, they're going to take advantage of it. And they've got a quality team. I thought Arkansas was the better team last year and made some key mistakes down the stretch that just gave it away. But I thought Arkansas's defense dominated Texas A&M, and of course, the big play was, the fumble return for a touchdown. You had the ball down the goal line. That's a 14-point swing. Mm-hmm. Hard to overcome that. They did. Then they missed a field goal that would have pushed them over the top. So there's been a lot of that kind of stuff in this series. So they've got to. They've got to play clean. I'll be honest, some of these games, the Razorbacks have played like Aggies, and that's a bad thing.
Oh, man, I did not expect that coming. Clay, where does Arkansas have an advantage today, outside of quarterback maybe?
Yeah, well, I think you have to start at quarterback because it's the most important spot, on the team. I think they're similar in the defensive line. I think that there's, I like Arkansas's corners better than A&M's. I like Arkansas's kicking game better. So that's part of it. Running back, it's similar. I think A&M has some advantages in the offensive line. They went through what Arkansas was going through last year, if you'll remember. They were kind of, mixing and matching in the offensive line throughout the season because of injuries. Mm-hmm. And Arkansas looks a little more settled. I think you're probably going to see more of Devin Manuel today than you have in the first 4 weeks. And I think he's their best left tackle. And that's an area that, that Arkansas has been deficient. Haven't got a lot from Andrew Chamblee so far. And then the one thing that's been obvious is that kind of intangibles, Arkansas's made too many penalties. And they make that the kind of penalties that they have the last 2 weeks, they won't win the game. That's a killer. So, turnovers, which killed Arkansas last year, and penalties, which were the bugaboo the last 2 weeks in the losses. Arkansas could have won either one of the last two games without the penalties. Mm-hmm. And they've got to clean that up, and they know it. They've worked on it. And, I asked Matt Jones for a story I'm doing for Hogs Illustrated about how do you clean up penalties. And he said it's not so much what you do in practice, it's what you do every day. And he says you have to show that you're disciplined, you do the little things, you do everything right, and you get in the routine of doing everything right in your life. And that's your study habits, the way you watch film, the way you get to practice. Everything has to be in alignment. And he said suddenly the penalties start to go away. And I don't know if that's something he got from Houston Nutt, but they were usually pretty good in the penalty area. And, that's something that I saw in the Hatfield era, the Holtz era, and the Broyles era, that they won games because they made the fewest mistakes. And you don't have to be always the most talented, but if you're not the most talented, then you have to figure out other ways to get an advantage. And Arkansas got to do that today against the Aggies with penalties.
You mentioned the kicking game. I think about Max Fletcher having a big punt last week, the fake field goal he executed. I know this is a game last year where Cam Little would have loved to have that kick back, but the special teams looked better and frankly, was better than LSU last week, Clay.
Yeah, you left out one of the areas that I think has really been key because Texas A&M in this series has hurt Arkansas with kickoff returns.
Good point.
And
Christian Kirk.
Those have been non-existent because no one's been able to return a Cam Little kickoff. They're not going to kick off in the wind today. The conditions are going to be perfect. He should be able to put it in the end zone every kick, and in that dome. So I think that's a weapon in itself, and that it takes away a weapon that you might have on the other side of the field in a good kickoff team. And I think it was Chris Kirk returned one all the way a few years ago for A&M.
Christian Kirk, there's a video of me standing next to my brother with me doing the surrender cobra after he did that. Trust me, that was one of the more painful memories. That was my junior year of college, and that was horrific. We're talking again with Clay Henry here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. If you've got some questions for Clay, you can text those in, again, at 877-377-6963. You mentioned the addition of Devin Manuel. Clay, we're a couple minutes into this interview. We haven't mentioned Rocket Sanders, who I expect to play today based on what we've heard from Coach this week. Malik Chavis as well. What about the addition of those two guys coming back most likely today?
Yeah, I think in the secondary you always use that one extra guy. You don't know what's going to happen injury-wise. Those guys have to run an awful lot. It just seems like a pull here or there during this game happens. You don't make it all the way through with your secondary intact, so an extra guy there is good. Rocket was advertised as their best player. Didn't look like it in the opener. Maybe that knee injury was something that was already lingering. I don't know. But he can be a difference maker. And he was in several games last year. And I know he's raring to go. I know he's excited. And that's another big body with speed that you say is, he wasn't a 5-star when he was signed, but he plays like a 5-star. He's a guy that can make a difference if he has a big game.
Yeah, and I know last season, again, offense looked good against Texas A&M. Just had a few mental errors that they got to take advantage of, as we've been talking about to this
Sure.
Clay, when you think about Texas A&M, this is the team I despise the most. And I know Texas is it for you, but how you, Chuck, and so many other kind of your age group to describe it, I mean, this was a series that Arkansas dominated and still has the series record pretty handily over the Aggies. I mean, what do you think's changed specifically in the last decade?
Well, Arkansas hadn't been as good. And, when you're talking about through the years, Arkansas has been a strong team. And they were in the Southwest Conference. I mean, they were a dominant team. They won championships, and they had championship caliber teams, and Texas A&M didn't. What you always had with Texas A&M is that they had talent. They had a team that you thought should be a contender, but often wasn't. Every once in a while, there were some Stallings teams and some Ballard teams that there was a Bear Bryant team in there too, where you could see that they were supremely talented and that they were going to be a hard out. But most of the time, they had key players that you thought could play on your team, but for whatever reasons, they weren't loaded all the way across. They were missing something, and it might be one year they didn't have a quarterback. Maybe one year they were deficient at defense, but they just didn't seem to put it together. And that's what Arkansas has looked like of late. These have not been strong teams that have gone down there in this game. Now you flip that around, during the Petrina time, they were the better team. Mike Sherman was the coach. They were missing something. I don't know if it was coaching or if it was lack of one area. Maybe they didn't have an offensive line, but you could take advantage of some things. The Aggies have they seem to enjoy buying players. The NIL thing has been a boon for them. So we have to play a more perfect game because they're probably the more talented overall roster. Now they weren't really experienced last year. They were inexperienced in the offensive line, and that allowed Arkansas to put pressure on the quarterback. We'll see if they can do that today. I think that's a big part of the game. You let Petrino get in a situation where his quarterback has time, he will design plays that put you, in a hurting way. But if Arkansas can overwhelm that offensive line a little bit, and I didn't see that against Auburn. I did a little bit against Miami early in the game. Arkansas has to make Max Johnson do things that he doesn't want to do, like maybe roll to the right. Maybe they got to flush him out of the pocket to the right. He's a left-handed quarterback. So that's something to watch if they can put him on the run away from his dominant side.
Clay, we'll leave it there this morning, man. Again, we appreciate you waking up early with us.
You guys, anytime. Yep. Look forward to it. Y'all hang tough. This is tough duty. Y'all been going from what, 6 a.m.?
6 a.m., man. Big C. It's been good though. It hadn't been.
Somebody asked me what Ty Richardson, Christian Johnson's strength was, and I said they do it every day in their own time.
Waking up early.
That's half the battle right there.
Yeah. Well, Clay, hey, man, enjoy the game.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of the SEC stuff, too.
Yep. Y'all be safe. Yep. Thank you.
It's Clay Henry, the Hall of Famer, still kicking it here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. All right, we still have plenty to get into on this game, including your calls and texts as Clay joined us on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Well, guys, we fielded one call this morning. Carey's driving from Tulsa. He's coming down to Dallas. I know there's a bunch of people down here. I've seen a bunch of Razorback fans already. I know we got some people listening to us this morning. I need some fire and scalding takes. I want to know what you think about this game today at 877-377-6963. We'll take your calls and texts when we come back live from Jerry World.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Live from AT&T Stadium in
The best
Arlington.
selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leaf-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. For 40 years, we've had the honor and privilege of serving the River Valley. Thank you to all the great customers, contractors, distributors, friends, and family that we've had the opportunity to build lasting relationships with over the past 4 decades. A lot has changed since 1983, but our commitment to providing the highest quality service, sales, and products has not. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100. Need new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call 479-319-5100.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a number 2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila, you'll have a recipe for magic.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Boondocks is known for its great food and drinks, but did you know Boondocks is the happening place in Fort Smith? Monday night bingo, Tuesday night live trivia, Wednesday night kids eat free, Thirsty Thursday, live music in the backyard Friday and Saturday nights, new game room with pool, Golden Tee Golf, shuffleboard, and more, 35 TVs to watch your favorite sporting events, daily happy hour, weekday early bird food specials too. Our name may be Boondocks, but we're located nearby on Highway 71 South across from Riley Farms.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the Hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
All right, we're starting to see some movement on the field. You've got some equipment managers and various other people for both Arkansas and Texas A&M as we're live from AT&T Stadium this morning. Thanks to Mr. Jones, the rest of the staff here, Scotty, Krista, and everyone else that helped us get hooked up this morning. We really appreciate it. I got a text here, Christian, on the McLarty Daniel hotline. I'm going to keep this guy nameless because I don't know if he wants to be associated with this. But he asked the question, how many neck braces are we going to see today from Arkansas fans?
Oh, I never thought about that.
I didn't think about it either until he texted me. Now, there were neck braces, people riding around on mopeds last year prior to Missouri State.
Well,
will we see the same thing for this Arkansas-Texas A&M game today with Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator?
I wouldn't imagine there would be more than there was at the Arkansas-Missouri State game. I'm saying 0. I'm just saying 0.
0. There will be at least one, I think, that are here today. But I'm with you. There won't be as many as last year to this point. Now, again, that game last year, remember how much Missouri State carved up Arkansas in the first half. Your better players took over in the second half. And today, with what Petrino has on offense, and I know, again, I mentioned this in the first hour, and I'll mention this again. So there's a Texas A&M beat writer I know. We show up at the same time to pick our credentials up yesterday. And I'm just asking him, hey, man, how much is there a difference between Wigman and Max Johnson? He looked at me, he's like, Petrino actually wanted him to start. He's talking to Johnson. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So there's already a high level of confidence with Bobby Petrino and his backup quarterback. The second tier to that is the fact that they have so many weapons around him, more than, of course, he had in Springfield last year. Most notably, Evan Stewart and Anais Smith. You played a really good wide receiver duo this last week. You play one that's comparable this week.
Clay said something that got me thinking. The way to disrupt an offense, they've got good playmakers. The way to disrupt all that is to get pressure on Max Johnson. I mean, he's a good quarterback, like Clay said, when he's got time in the pocket. But I mean, if you're this defensive line, we've talked about how good they were or they're going to be. This is a game where they really need to show it. This is a game where you've got to get pressure. You've got to force maybe a strip sack, a fumble, something like that to go your way and get the momentum you need. And then once you get the momentum, keep the pedal to the metal.
Yep. Pittman's talked about that several times this week. They got to be able to do that to this point. And I think when it comes to Max Johnson and getting pressure on him, Clay said something interesting to kind of go off what you said, is pushing him as a left-handed quarterback to his right, make him throw kind of those tougher passes he has to make. Arkansas was not able to get pressure on Jaden Daniels, and what that did in the back end is it put you in very difficult situations with Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. You don't want to be in that same situation for Evan Stewart and, again, Anais Smith. So the key is not just getting pressure, it's getting pressure with 4, because you want to be able to drop 7 in coverage if at all possible at this point. Arkansas was not able to do that last week. We heard about this defensive line all offseason long. This is where they need to show up and contribute in a game like this with the secondary that's going to be tested all game.
Yeah, you haven't really seen that game where the defensive line just wreaks havoc on the quarterback. And you know it's coming. You know the potential's there. And in years past, we've seen our defensive line play pretty well against Texas A&M. We have got to have that today because you don't want your cornerbacks out on an island, or you don't want the quarterback to have time to pick you apart on defense. You know, Bobby Vitrino, he, like Clay said, he'll dial something up eventually if the quarterback has time. So make him throw short routes. Make him be uncomfortable because he will make a mistake if you get pressure on him.
Yeah, and hopefully he is forced into those situations at some point later on today. Again, if you want to call or text us on the McCarty Daniel hotline like Carrie did this morning, like Clay has done, feel free to do so at 877-377-6963. Paul and Fayetteville asked the question, what is going to have a more decisive part to a win? Is it the run game or secondary play? I think based on what A&M has given up at points this season, again, they played two really bad teams. They played Miami, and then they played a terrible SEC offense in Auburn. Auburn's defense isn't horrible, but their offense is horrific. So the one time you played an offense that has some capability, they gave up like 50-something points.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Tyler Van Dyke had a field day with that secondary. To me, I think that Arkansas, like they did against LSU, and I said this all week leading up to the Tigers game. I said, if you protect KJ, he's going to get guys open. The wide receiver, I mean, he was 21 to 31, had his best game to date, and I think he can have similar success. You just got to block up that defensive front that has an ability to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's another thing that we have to make sure we do. We have got to protect him. I think we did a pretty good job against LSU, honestly, at protecting KJ. I know there was a few times where he had to scramble out and make some plays with his legs. He may have to do that again today, but if KJ gets comfortable and has a little bit of time, this offense is dangerous. Now, you'd like to have a pretty consistent running game to go behind that. And I think if Rocket plays today, I don't think he'll be 100%, but even an 85%, 80%, maybe 90% Rocket Sanders is better than a lot of backs.
Yeah, you take him at that point, at this point. Bill from Northeast Arkansas is, again, our last text here on the McCarty Daniel hotline before we go to break. He thinks that Luke will have another good game today, and that so Isaiah Satania will get a couple targets. Now, I want to go back to something Coach Pittman said earlier this week. He said that they're going to try and feature some plays for Isaiah. Now, I could be wrong about this. I think he said something similar the week before, prior to LSU, unless my memory is not helping me this morning. I believe he said something. I think it's going to happen this week because, again, I go back to this, and I love Tyron Broden. I love Isaac Tesla, and I love Andrew Armstrong. This kid, who I think still wears number 16, unless he changed his number, maybe 7. Jaden Wilson's 17, I think. He offers you a different element than every single one of those guys. I know Jaden Wilson's fast. I know Tyron Broden's fast. But Arkansas doesn't have just a full roster of playmakers on offense. This kid is that. I'm not advocating for like 30 or 40 plays.
No.
I'm just advocating for a handful. Get him in space, see what happens, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This is not like a Malik Hornsby gadget play. This is a kid that's played wide receiver his entire life, and I don't know what his issue. Coach has talked about him not catching, not blocking great in practice at points. You don't have to necessarily put him in that situation. Get him in a reverse, get him in a short bubble. Just get him the football, and if it doesn't go well, then Arkansas fans are going to be like, all right, Coach was right. If it does, though, if he breaks one open, if he goes berserk on a play, then Arkansas fans are going to be like, "We told you." And I don't know what's going to happen later today, but I do expect him to get a pass or two at some point.
I could be totally wrong about this, but do you think it has anything to do with his size? Maybe being a little smaller.
Yeah, he's small. He's like 180. I know he put on like 10 pounds or something, but he's like 185. I mean, he
it's
can't
harder
block.
to get. It's harder to target him. I mean, I feel like it's harder. Just you've got to be more accurate with the pass, and not that KJ can't do it. There are ways to get him the ball. You don't have to throw a 30-yard dig or a 30-yard. You don't have to go target him deep necessarily, but throw a 10-yard pass, 15-yard pass, get him the ball out in space. It could be a little hook route. It could just be anything, something a little swing route. Just get him the ball where he's got some open field in front of him, and he's shown that he can make people miss.
Yep, he actually can. I think, again, we'll see him at some point make a play. He'll get the ball at some point today, and I think based on track record and history, he'll be able to make a play. All right, we got 30 more minutes here. Phil just texted me. He had something come up, so he's not going to join us in the next 30 minutes, but that leaves more phone line for you on the McCarty Daniel hotline. Again, 877-377-6963. Now, we're live at AT&T Stadium. Thank you, Mr. Jones. This would not be possible without our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew Mann over there have the largest inventory available, whatever brand you want. Tommy Bahama, Champion, Vineyard Vines, Cutter and Buck, Wrangler, Columbia, all things Razorback. Man Cave, Dorm Room, Game Day, you name it, they got it. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Shop online at the Stadium Shop, at shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. And by our friends Kevin and Ricky Cowan over at KC Insurance Partners, where Matt Jones and Phil Elson were this past Thursday. They take care of you and all your health and life insurance needs. They make it simple. KCInsurancePartners.com. That's KCInsurancePartners.com for more information. It's Arkansas Game Day, live from AT&T Stadium.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners, live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Escape to the lake with G3 boats and Suncatcher pontoons. Huge model in-year closeout sale going on now at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. Save thousands on 2023 G3 models and Suncatcher pontoons with the largest rebates of the year now through September 30th. There's still time for some fun on the water with Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma. View their inventory online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here. See dealer for rebate details.
Well, have you heard? Wave Rural Connect is now available at Blue Mountain Magazine in east of Booneville. That means fast fiber for your house and even your lake house. Internet, TV, phone service from Wave Rural Connect, local provider, and it is now available. We're taking orders for Arkansas Valley Electric members on our Blue Mountain substation. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Camping World is the world's largest RV dealer with more than 1 million RVs sold. And now at over 200 locations strong, we're making RVing more fun and more affordable than ever. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome, we have new RVs starting at less than $5 a day. And we have the largest selection of quality pre-owned RVs anywhere, with an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. It's easy to see why Camping World has sold over 1 million RVs. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today. See dealer for more details and disclaimers.
Shop the store that honors Christ all year. Shop the Solid Rock. Are you looking for that perfect inspirational gift? From greeting cards to home decor, custom laser engraving, and women's boutique items, the Solid Rock is your source for local, hard-to-find inspirational gifts for everyone in the family, including a large selection of Bibles with free name imprint. Solid Rock. Score the perfect gift, share the spirit, enjoy the inspiration. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the Hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
All right, we are back here on Arkansas Game Day, where the Arkansas Razorbacks are getting set to take on the Texas A&M Aggies here at 11 a.m.
I'm back, Christian.
Ty is back with us now. And
I don't know how Chuck does it, man. I got to be honest. He has about 2 minutes break in between, and if he has something go wrong, like we all do at some point in time, I do not know how he does it. Well, that's why he's the professional, and I'm just the I don't know what I call myself at this point. I do a radio show and do our pre- and post-game from time to time. Thanks for taking that first set, Christian. But, yeah, back here on Arkansas Game Day, Christian Johnston, as you heard, Ty Richardson here. We're live at AT&T Stadium this morning. We are going to talk some more Dallas Cowboys coming up. You guys have a big game against the New England Patriots. Christian, last hour we talked a little SEC. Let's jump back into our Southern Tire Mart scoreboard update. Again, no games currently on right now, but we do have some top 25 matchups to talk about, including last night, a Friday night game we need to speak to.
This is your SEC scoreboard update brought to you by Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart, off exit 14, Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Expert maintenance, reliable auto repairs, high-quality tires, and friendly service. Looking out for you and your vehicle. Southern Tire Mart, stmtires.com.
Every once in a while, you have a top 25 matchup on a Friday night like we did last night, where the Oregon State Beavers hosted the Utah Utes. Oregon State wins 21-7, Christian, last night.
Yeah, 21-7. Oregon State might be pretty good this year. I mean, we can say that about a lot of teams in the Pac-12. They just, I don't know if it's the SEC, the fact that we think we're down, that they look so much better, but it's hard to deny that the Pac-12 as a whole looks like a stronger conference than normal. And I know they have got the better quarterbacks in that league. And what's that? Uwe Ungalale is their quarterback?
I just call him DJU. But yeah, Uwe Ungalale, however you say his last name, you're on the right track.
Yeah, he seems to be a good addition to their team. And they're 4-1 right now. They could easily be 5-0.
Yeah. All right, other top 25 matchups. We got also at 11 o'clock. We mentioned Kentucky and Florida at the same time. Colorado hosting the Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams. 4-0 USC walks into Boulder. USC as a road favorite, 21.5 points. Christian, it would not be that high if this team had Travis Hunter. I'm speaking of Colorado, but that's just the situation that they're dealing with right now.
Yeah, you hate to see a player of that caliber not play. And, you know, with the attention Colorado's getting right now, you'd like to see all their best players on the field. Man, I know they got beat pretty bad against Oregon. They got popped in the mouth. USC's a really good team. I do think it'll be a little closer. 21 points is a lot. I think USC wins by 21.
Yeah, it's going to be close and on the terms of the line. I don't think it's a close football game, but that is the line at this point. Well, again, we mentioned the other SEC games. Other ranked 2 matchups today. Kansas against Texas, 4-0, both squads. We know Kansas beat them last time these two teams played in Austin. 2:30. Texas is a 16.5-point favorite. Gosh, I'd love for Lance Leopold and them to win in Austin again. Don't know if it's going to happen. Two great quarterbacks. You've got Quinn Ewers for Texas, and then you've also got Jalen Daniels, who you had to play in the Liberty Bowl last year. That kid's a stud. What do you think happens in that one, Christian?
This would definitely be an upset. There's no doubt about it. But I am taking the Jayhawks to win in Texas today. I think, this isn't the same.
A bunch of people just punch their fist, or they pump their fist right there after you said that.
This is not the same Kansas program that people think. When you think Kansas football, they're not going to get it done. I think they're plenty good enough to get it done. They've gone to Texas and won before with much less. And I know Texas probably didn't have as good of a team as they do now, but I think Texas is going to slip up somewhere, and I think it's going to be this week. I think Kansas goes on the road and upsets them.
All right, last game, top 25 matchup again of the day. That would be Notre Dame traveling to Durham, North Carolina to take on Mike Elko and Duke. Notre Dame, of course, lost maybe the most heartbreaking way possible last week. And I hope Dukies win this game. I can't believe I'm cheering for Duke, but this is their football program, not their basketball program. And that would put Orange in just a status of pain and misery, which would be incredible.
Go Blue Devils. I think the Blue Devils are going to get it done. Notre Dame's a good team. They proved it last week. Ohio State, we don't really know how good Ohio State is. We thought Notre Dame was good, and I think they are. I think they're good. I think it was just a great low-scoring game last week. They easily could have won that game. Came down to the last play, and we'd be talking about Notre Dame right now as a potential front runner, and they still could be if they win out, but I just don't see it. I think that loss is going to sting for a while, and I think Duke, with what they did against Clemson, I don't think that was necessarily a fluke. I know they got some things to go their way in that game and made the score a little lopsided, but man, it's hard to pick against the Blue Devils right now. It's been a crazy year already. Why not have Duke beat Notre Dame and remain undefeated? Why not?
I'd take it. Speaking of crazy, I just got a thump on the back, and I was like, who is this? Turn around. It's Phil. Phil,
Jerry,
what's going on, buddy?
Morning.
Hey, I wish it was Jerry. Hey,
yeah,
is it bad I wish it was Jerry Jones and not you?
Jerry never left the stadium from last week.
I was telling Christian, you and Chuck are professionals because I had to, sprint over there and wasn't able to get back in time. Luckily, Christian covered for me for just a sec, but I don't know how you and Chuck do it, man. Those 2-minute breaks, those aren't long enough to do something.
Oh, Chuck's the one who's going to worry about that. I get 1-minute breaks for baseball.
That's it?
1-minute breaks. God. I can beg an extra 30 seconds in if we get to the 7th inning stretch and I've held it for too long.
Do you have a pee bottle in there or something?
I'm not going to answer
I'm
that
just
question.
playing.
Some people do. I've seen bus drivers that do that. I don't know about play-by-play. But, hey, that's one thing I really do like about the pitch timer. It's a football show. Why are we talking baseball? But the pitch timer made sure that you don't have to hold it in that much longer.
Well, I know you've done plenty of prep for you and Gino and Rick that are coming up right after this. In your research, Phil, what has stood out amongst this game this week?
Oh, I think the Aggies are tough to run on, but I'm not sure if they've faced an offense that is going to look to run the ball as successfully as Arkansas will today. Getting Rocket back, if he's close to what he should be, is huge. I think take a little pressure off of Dubinion, take a little pressure off of Green, because either one of those two has been the guy that they want to ride the last couple of games. And I think this is a good offense with either one of those two. But if you can get that three-headed monster, and I don't think Rocket is the featured guy this week, but getting him back involved in the offense is gigantic. I also think that Arkansas can pressure this Aggie offensive line. I think that they have a chance to get to Max Johnson. They made him uncomfortable last year. They just had trouble getting him to the ground. And I think, and that was with a defensive line that wasn't as dominant. This isn't a dominant defensive line yet, but I think they're good. And I'm interested to see if and where pressure comes from when you bring somebody extra, because these also are a group of receivers that are really difficult to cover one-on-one, and there are going to be some situations where that happens.
Yeah, I was going to go to that next. So you go from Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas last week. That might be the best duo in the SEC. If they aren't, then the guys that we're seeing today in maroon and white might be with Evan Stewart and Anaya Smith.
Yeah, and they got a 6'6" receiver, too, that can make those catches in the end zone or just, kind of outleap the coverage. And so, I'm interested to see how much run Jalen Braxton gets because it seems they're starting to trust him more on a weekly basis. I really do like Jaheim Singletary, so hopefully this is a bounce-back game for him because he got lost in coverage against LSU last week. Again, he's not the only one that's going to happen to against the Tigers. And the first 3 weeks, Singletary was really, really good. So this is the defense has to work in tandem. You need to get pressure on Johnson. He can't be comfortable. This can't be an offense that is allowed to have the quarterback sit in the pocket and pick up and pick off the coverage like we saw last week.
Now, they just put up a graphic on screen where it's got KJ right in front of Matt Jones for total yards. We know that they're both tied right now, or actually it's right behind. They've got that graphic wrong.
They do.
Yeah, and we know they're tied at 77 right now. And I know, again, you do a show with Matt every day. What has that been like for him in talks? So people are asking him about it. What is that like for him that, he has a record and it's probably going to be broken today?
I don't think Matt really cares too much about his place as far as records are concerned with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that's who he is, and I think he enjoys watching KJ play. So I think if you set a record, no matter what the record is, you also understand that they're made to be broken, and the game changes, and the game has changed to where you get a guy like KJ that can be your starting quarterback for 3 years and run the kind of offense and have that kind of talent where you can set that record. So I think he's proud of it, honestly.
All right, we got one more segment. You got to go, or
I'm going to head back into the booth.
I figure. Hey, well, thanks for stopping by. I know you got a lot of stuff to do today.
Do you get to hang out in here all game?
I think I'm going to go sit in the press box because that's where the prime rib is. So I'm going to take it.
You can bring the prime rib into this little zip code all by yourself.
That is a good point. So we got a good setup. Thank you again to Scotty and Kristen, Mr. Jones, for helping us hook up, and thank you to Phil, who, with all the stuff he's got going on, still made time for us here on Arkansas
I'll talk
Game
to you guys in 13 minutes or so.
Yep, exactly. Again, that's Phil Elson, voice of the Arkansas baseball, women's basketball, halftime, and the host of the pre- and post-game show on Learfield. When we come back, we'll get into our final segment here. Again, it's Arkansas Game Day live from AT&T Stadium, presented by KC Insurance Partners and the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
This is Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners. Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Fans, this is Kevin Cowan at KC Insurance, and I just wanted to tell you all about plans that we have for Arkansans. It's through the Affordable Care Act, formerly known as Obamacare. Most Arkansans can qualify for a plan for $10 a month premium or below. We are located at 912 Highway 6265 North in Harrison, Arkansas, in the Ace Hardware Shopping Center. Give Ricky Cowan a call at 870-517-1207. Thank you. Remember, we are just local people helping local people.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Fall has arrived. That means Razorback football, woo pigs, tailgate parties, apple festivals, and pumpkin spice and everything nice. Don't miss the fun because your car won't run. Drive into fall with automotive maintenance and repairs you can trust from W&W Automotive. This is Mark at W&W. We offer affordable repair solutions for all makes and models, foreign or domestic, including front-end work and alignments. Call me or Kelly at 242-1600 or come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a Buy Here, Pay Here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com. When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
Now is a great time to get a great deal on New Holland Boomer and Workmaster compact tractors. They may be smaller, but they are mighty. Both are stout machines that will get the work done. Right now, you can get a great deal too. 0% for 72 months or 0.99% for 84 months with approved credit through CNH Industrial Capital. See them now at Alma Tractor in Alma.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. This is Arkansas Game Day.
Sanders pushing toward the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and KC Insurance Partners.
I kind of like the Hogs there, Chuck.
Live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
We really appreciate Phil Elson taking time out of his day, Clay Henry taking time out of his day, and then also you taking time out of your day to listen to us here on Arkansas Game Day. It's final segment. We've got about a minute left here. Christian, what happens today ultimately? I know you said Arkansas is going to win. Give me a score. Give me why in AT&T Stadium.
I've got a good feeling about today. I think Arkansas gets it done 27-20.
27-20. So Arkansas wins by a touchdown in this one. I think there are going to be field goals. I don't think this is like a 28-35 football game. But, I mean, listen, I don't like picking the Razorbacks in this game because I've been let down so many times. I think Arkansas ultimately covers in this one. I'm not going to say they lose, but I'm going to say they cover in this one. This is the game that gives me PTSD each and every year, and I'm so sick of it happening the way it does. Hopefully, starting today, they'll get a new streak going where Arkansas is, again, the benefactor of some mistakes on the other side for Texas A&M. Now, as you heard, Phil Elson, Gino Bell, Rick Schaefer, all coming up next on the Learfield pregame. We'll be back after Derek Ruskin, myself, DQ, for Hog Reaction after the game, and, of course, Chuck and Quinn Grovey on the call right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Appreciate the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Appreciate KC Insurance Partners, and appreciate our friends here at AT&T Stadium. For Big C, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, folks. Arkansas Aggies, 11 o'clock, right here in the next 3 hours.
The best selection.